All right, so second part of the kitchen again for the class is I want to insert that rendering. I let Revit or Autodesk servers do the rendering. I save that image in my file, and now I'm going to insert an image. You go to wherever it's located that you saved it, and I'll just simply put it on a sheet and then resize it so that it fits on that sheet. This would not be a final rendering, obviously, because I haven't put the window or cut the sink. But let's take a look at the house from the other side. I have a lot of tabs open. I don't want all of those. So I have this close inactive views tab, which you can add to your quick access toolbar by going up to the view and then simply right click and say add to the quick access toolbar. And then it's right there because I use that a lot. So I've added it to my quick access toolbar. As I said before, your access toolbar probably or possibly starts out on the top. You simply click this little down arrow here and say show below the ribbon. I like it below the ribbon because it really has more space there. I don't use all that space, but someday I might want to. Anyway, I'm used to it being down below, so that's where it is, and it may be there in your template already. So that's my rendering that way. I'm going to close all the inactive views and then go back, and I think we're working on this one, maybe. Yeah, okay, that could work. And I don't need to see that rendering anymore, so I'm going to X out of that one. And I have my floor plan, and then I'll go back down to my stacked walls. Your stacked walls has what I like to call the warehouse. I saw another YouTuber who does really good rendering or tutorials on Revit, and he calls it the warehouse. Now he puts it in another drawing completely. I leave it in my template, so I always have these things here. So WT Windows toggle, did that. I like my floor plan on this side, so we'll hit WT again, and my floor plan will go over here. And then I don't need them to be equal. I can have something like that and then zoom back in and out. But what we want to do now is work on this side. I've got my cabinets over here. So we have two sections. I like to work with two sections until I'm finished designing the house. One horizontal through the house side to side, and one vertical through the house front to back. This one is called FB, and this one is called SS. FB for front to back, SS for side to side. So I'll just pull it over here a little bit farther, but we notice that the arrow is pointing in the wrong direction. I can right click on top of here and say flip section, or I can click these little arrows here, which will also flip the section. The dashed lines are the boundaries for which Revit will show me information. Anything outside of those dashed lines will not be included in the building section, which is helpful if there's a lot of information behind your section that you don't want to see. So if I'm looking in this direction and I don't want to see all the stuff over here, I might change where this is located. But since we have solid walls here, that's going to block my view of anything behind it anyway. So let's go to that view, right click on top and say go to view. Now we'll WT, and let's see what happens if we WT again. WT. I got it on the wrong side. Let's see if I keep clicking WT. I'm not sure what the logic is behind here. Anyway, we'll just make that real small because I don't need it ZA for zoom A. That zooms all of the different objects. And then I just want to put some more stuff over here. So let's grab this countertop and pull it over to there. And we can see that I need another countertop. So let's just do it. Architecture, component, model in place. So I did the drop down at the component, model in place, casework, okay. And I let that go to whatever it says and just default to whatever it says. And we're going to draw an extrusion. And we'll start right here. And we'll go over to there. I can be lazy and let Revit do the heavy lifting. And I know that I want these to line up. So I just use my align tool. I've got my countertop where I want it, except look at where the extrusion is. Now we want the top of the extrusion to be 3 feet. and the bottom of the extrusion to be 2 feet 10. That gives me a 2-inch thick. So we can say the bottom of the extrusion is 2 feet 10 off of where the reference level, which is the first floor, and it goes all the way up to 3 feet. I can change this material because it's saying by category, and I want it to be that green. So the cursor always starts right here. It defaults when you look to your library. The cursor is already going to be there. You don't have to move your mouse up there. And I'll just say green. And there's my great new green marble. And I noticed that it didn't have a image there. When I rendered it last time, it didn't have an image. So all I need to do is click on that and then find out where my material is and click on that material. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to search for it, but I will do that shortly once I've searched because I don't remember exactly where that material image is. So there we go. That looks good. And so we'll say okay, and we'll say okay. And now you can see that I have a countertop over there too. We want to put a range hood on top of this guy. So let's go in here and see if we have a range hood. Sure we do. Right click on it, create similar. I'll come over here, activate that window, click it around so that it's in the right orientation. And then I'll use my align tool to find the center of the stove. And then I'll use my align tool to get it right there. So you notice I didn't worry about where to put it. I didn't try to place it by eyesight because I want the precision. I want the precision of the of Revit. I want Revit to make it precise as opposed to trying to do it by eyesight. That usually doesn't work. We don't get it exact. All right, so what do we want on both sides? Let's put a double cabinet. I don't see a double cabinet here other than this one, which is a sink cabinet. I know, nope, don't have it. Ooh, should we put some? I don't know. We could put some more. I have in your template, you also have 2 ovens and a microwave. But I also have a microwave drawer. Let's do that one. So I'm going to say create similar, and then I'll put that microwave drawer on right here on this island. I'll just put it right there for now. We won't worry about placing it properly, but that's a microwave drawer, so it slides out. You don't like to see my microwaves on the countertop, not in a nice kitchen anyway. It should be built in. But I also have, if I wanted, and we could probably do that too if I wanted to, I could have even more ovens and another microwave. Let's create similar. And where we're going to put that, let's put that right here at the end. It's a little overkill, but using the align tool, I'm going to align to the back, and I'm going to align over here. And then I need to bring this countertop back to there. Okay, you can see we don't want the countertop going through there. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 ovens and 2 microwaves. That should be more than enough. Now what do I want? Let's see. I want to put these cabinets, create similar, and let's do it here. Mouse, the cursor always attaches to the back, so I'll spin it around so that the back is there. All right. And maybe we could make these a little wider, but we'll start out like that. And I'm using the align tool to get my cabinet right where I want it to be. That makes sense. Let's do another one. Copy that one. From where? From here to where? To there. Uh-oh, I moved it. All right, so we'll copy it back from here. It really should go right up against there. And then I clicked the wrong corner, so we'll push this over to here, and then we'll use the align tool to line up with this cabinet. We're going to align here and here, okay, and then we'll do the same thing with this countertop. We'll click on this countertop. It's always easiest to click on the edge of the object in order to select it. Clicking in the middle of it's difficult sometimes. Now we'll align this guy right here, okay, but that should be that hinge should be on the other side. So if I select this object, I can click this arrow and look what happens. No, that didn't do it. It should have. Let's select it again and let's click that arrow. No, it still didn't do it. So what I'm going to do is go to another drawing because I don't want to turn off the floor, but I don't want to work on the drawing that has the floor showing. And I think that was the dimension drawing. I stand corrected. Now all of the drawings. Oh, okay, here we go. No floor in this one. So if I close this guy, don't want him, and I don't need the dimension either. I want the one that doesn't have the floor on it. WTZA, so I can see everything. Let's see, ZA, what happens if I click this guy, ZA? No, WT. WT gets my section over there, my floor plan here, then ZA. All right. So I click on this guy. I can come down here now. I was having trouble selecting the arrows. And I think that was just because I was clicking on the floor instead of the arrow, but I'll click there and that should have flipped it. And it did. That looks better. Then let's put another bank of these. So I'll just copy it over to here. And then whatever's left, let's make that drawers. So let's see, what kind of width do we have here? From here to here is 2 feet 2. So standard cabinets come in 3-inch increments. So let's go 2 feet and we'll leave a little gap there. Which can be filled in with just a wood filler. All right. So we want this guy now. Create similar. Come over here. I'm just going to put it. I think that's it. Yeah, because the mouse always attaches to the back. And then we said we want that to be 24 inches. I've selected it and go up here and see if we have a 24 incher. Yes, we do. Okay. Now I can drag that over here and using the arrow keys, I should be able to move it over and then align it with here and there'll be a little gap. There'll just be a slight little gap between here and there, which I think is all right. Let's see what we can do for symmetry here. See what happens if we use the mirror. Yeah, that works. And then what are we going to do here? We'll put another set of drawers in there, but they'll be smaller. So we'll just copy that from here to here, and then we'll change the size of it. So how wide can that be? Using the measuring tool, we'll measure from here to there. 1'3" is the size it should be. That's 15 inches. So I select it, go up to here and pick 15. And we have one. Then I align it to the edge here. Yeah, okay. That doesn't look too bad. Let's look at it in 3D. I'm going to click on something in my 3D view, hold the shift key down, push the mouse wheel straight down, and then spin it around. And what happens is Revit will revolve or rotate around this object. That will be the center point of the revolution. Okay, so we got the 3D view. Look at that. This guy isn't in the right spot. Let's click on this, go down to our eyeglasses and say hide element. And that's an easy way to align the back of that cabinet. And we need to do the same thing over here. Let's hit the eyeglasses, hide element, and align to here. Now it looks better. There's our kitchen in the bottom. Save it. Always a good idea to save it. And then what we're going to do is come back to our eyeglasses and say reset temporary hide. Notice it didn't hide the countertop in this view because I was telling it in this view to hide the countertop. Now we're going to do our upper cabinets, which will be create similar. Now the cabinets are wall-based, so when I activate that window, it won't let me place it until it finds a wall to place it on. There we go. Now let's come over here and use the align tool. Center of that, center of that. How wide is this? 24 inches. So we want this to be 24 inches, and it is. Okay. How wide is this? 21 inches. So the next, well, let's just put a single one in there. Create similar. Come over here. We got a wall. There we go. All right. And this is 21 inches. So this should be 21 inches. It's 15 right now. We'll come down for 21 and look at that. We don't have one. So edit the type, duplicate it. We're going to call it 21 inches. And then we'll change the width to 21 inches. And say apply and say okay. Now when we align this edge to here, that looks good. And let's put another one over there. We're going to mirror that object about this edge here. We got another one there that lines up. And then this guy is 15 inches. So we'll, oh, but that's a corner. So we can do 15 plus 12. It's 27. Yeah, hey, that's fine. 27 inch. So we'll just copy this guy over. Let's see if we can do that and change him to 27 inches. 21. And we don't have a 27. Let's double check to make sure we're in the right spot. 24. Nope. Okay, so we'll edit the type, duplicate it. We'll call it 27 inches. And we'll make the width 27 inches and say okay. Now let's look at the floor plan. The reason I made that wider is because it goes back into the corner here where we have more. So now we're going to use this guy, go to view, and we've got this one sticking out. So let's go back to the floor plan and fix that. It's highlighted here. It's sticking out. So what I'm going to do is, again, go down to the eyeglasses, hide element, and here it is. This is the one that's sticking out. I'll align it to the back wall. There we go. That looks better. All right, so we're here. Take the eyeglass, reset temporary hide. My countertop is back in. It never disappeared in this view because the display properties are for each window, which means that if I hide something in this window, it's not going to hide it in any other. If I had something in this window, it's not going to hide it in any other there. All right, so we got a few more to go. Let's take this guy. We'll say create similar, and we'll put it right there. It's on the wall. We'll line it up with this guy. And let's see how that looks in that section, which is SS. We're looking for SS. And it doesn't really line up there. What if we just made it 12 inches? Let's see, do we have a 12 incher? Yes, we do. Okay, we'll make it 12 inches and then we'll align it to here. And then we can, whatever we put will be the same width as this one, which is 27. What is this one? 27. Highlight it, create similar. We can put it in this view, and let's do that. There it is in that view. But the reason it now it needs to also be aligned here, just a little extra work where it automatically would have put it at the right elevation had we done it in a floor plane. And the last one is 21 inches. And we can just take this one and copy it over from here to here. And then we'll click on it and say 21 inches. We're looking for 21. There it is. And then we'll align it. I'll use the arrow key to nudge it over to the side and then align it right there. Let's look at it in 3D. we're good on that side. Let's go back to our section front to back. So it's FB we're looking for right there. I'm going to take this and this and this and mirror it about this center line. And what's left? I got to put some, and I think we said these are the same. So we'll copy that over. From where? From here to where? To here. And that looks good. Let's look at it in 3D again. And we'll make a rendering of that to take a look at it and see how nice it looks. I'm using the crop region to just show what I want Revit to render. I don't need to see, it doesn't need to do a lot any more work than is necessary. Then I type ZA. Then I go to the View tab. I say Cloud Rendering, Render in Cloud. What are my settings? Let's make it final and maximum and say Start Rendering. It's going to tell us that we haven't fixed that material yet. So we'll do that later, but we'll say okay. Okay, so let's go to a sheet. We can click just up here in our project browser and Revit will only show us the sheets. So let's do that. And I went down, I have some, and you have some sheets labeled rendering. I put the first rendering on this sheet. So let's do the second rendering on this sheet. So we have selected another sheet. We go up to the Insert tab, import an image. I'm looking for, I went to this folder that has that image, and when I download from the Autodesk server, I just call it numerically, 1, 2, 3. So the first one was 1, the second one is 2. I'm going to put it right here, and then we'll go back, make it a little bit smaller so that it fits. It fits. Now, this is my active view. I'm going to tell Revit to close all the inactive views. Well, then I have, what else do we have? Tile views, no, tab views. That's the button. And that's also something that I added to the quick access toolbar from the view tab. We have tile views, right click, add to the quick access toolbar, tile views, and then close inactive. Now, I'll just have this one so you can look at it real quick. Like the next video that I'll do will show us how to cut the sink out of the countertop. I guess we got to add some more island. Probably should have a sink in an island that's that big. And last class, there was a question about the profile. I'm going to make a nicer profile and sweep it around here. So it'll be another demonstration on how to make the profile that we sweep so we just don't have a square edge around our island. And I think that's good. That's a good stop.